I'm Lorraine Kelly from Loz's Art, and thanks for watching my video of this drawing. When I first started, I wasn't really sure what to draw, so I thought I'd just get a pattern, import it as a layer file, reduce the opacity down, and then traced over whatever shapes just stood out at me at the time, and then just see what happens. So this is what I'm doing now, just deciding which patterns to choose out of the overall design. So this is just a rough sketch, and then I will use that as my tracing layer to go over in better detail on a further layer. So here I've just about finished filling in all the shapes. I'm using ArtRage, which I find to be a fantastic program because it's so easy to use, and if you're colouring, it works just like normal paints, like oil paints or watercolour paints. It's a fun program to use. It doesn't require a lot of technical skill. So there we go, I've finished my main outline. So now I'm tracing over. I've reduced the opacity of the one I've just done and tracing over the top on a new layer. I've chosen a different pen to make so that it has thin and thick lines to make it more interesting. And I've also increased the smoothing so that it does straighter or more curved lines. So this will be a bit monotonous for you as I'm tracing over. While I was doing this, I was thinking of how I would fill in the large spaces. I still hadn't made up my mind. I was happy with how the crosses just sort of appeared. So that would be one of the main elements. I decided that in that big circle I would put in a rose. So I found myself a reference image, and I'll import that as a reference picture shortly. I use a Wacom tablet, and I love using that because the pressure is very good on the pen, so if you press harder it can get thicker lines and so forth. I highly recommend it if you're looking at getting into digital drawing. I've got the Intuos Pro, the large one, but the smaller one would be fine. And a lot of people use the bamboos, they're meant to be very good. Now I finished that, this is where I'm importing my reference picture, and I was happy with the shape of it, it fitted in nicely. So now that I've got one flower, I'd thought that I'd put some more flowers in the middle of the design as the centerpiece, just to keep, you don't want too many themes in the one drawing. So it's just flowers and the cross. So here's the centerpiece. Wasn't happy with the shape of the petals, so then I'm putting in leaves for it in a scrolled pattern. This painting or this drawing was done over a few sessions. I mainly draw while I'm watching TV. I have the drawing tablet on my lap and the computer next to me. So I generally can't watch shows with subtitles, which is a bit annoying because I was getting into Narcos and I stopped drawing for a while because it had a lot of subtitles. I like using Zentangle designs to fill in the backgrounds. Because it's going to be a colouring in page, I obviously can't block out too much or do shadows, so it's a good way of making the background sink back and popping out the main designs. Also makes it interesting, I think, for the people to colour. They could use different colours in each sections or gradient colours up. Decided to fill in more areas, and so I put the original tracing image back because on the layers you can obviously hide them when you're not using them. Now making the crosses stand out more by putting those lines through and cleaning them up. That is one good thing about digital drawing, is it's much easier to clean up your drawings than it is if you're using ink, of course. Decided to do more Zentangle patterns. And some more leaves. Now to make the centre flower stand out more, decided to fill in the centre black, and I will also put lines around the outside of the flower to work like a shadow to make the flower pop out. There we go. It makes a big difference, I find, when I do that. I like using lines and dots to give the drawing some depth. And the dots here I've put on by using the sprinkler tool on ArtRage. And I used just another layer so that it was easier to rub out. Although in one section I put it on another layer, which was a bit of a pain and made it harder to rub out. And it's getting close to being finished now. Kept with the dots theme to highlight the semicircle. Here I was trying to highlight the cross because it was sharing the outline with another pattern. It didn't stand out as much as the other crosses, but in the end I didn't like what I did here, so I ended up undoing it. Thought it was all getting too dark, so I undid all that work. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and please subscribe. I'll be putting more videos up soon. Thank you.